I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not a huge fan of romance dramas. I love romance comedies with an emphasis on comedy, which is why I'm pleased to present to you in today's review, Gamers. I never hear anyone talk about this anime when recommending romance. Maybe because it's shonen and the typical audience is guys, and being a cabbage, I'm just not on the same algorithms. Regardless, I'm super excited to share this show with you all, so let's get into it. Episode 1. Kaita Amano is your average geek guy when he bumps into the pretty and popular Karen Tendo at the game store. He basically flubs their first interaction until he hyperfixates on video gaming, which prompts Tendo into inviting him to join the gaming club at their high school. Tendo confesses that she's a hardcore gamer, and she founded the game club to meet like-minded individuals, so Ano agrees to join her after school to view the club. At school, we learn that Ano is kind of a loner, who is ostracized by his classmates for being geeky. His only real friend is an online gamer known as Mono, which is why it shocks the world when Tendo stops by to pick up Ano after class. We meet the other gaming recruit, Ichi Misumi. He is a good boy and we love him. The gaming club consists of 2 other members, Gato Kase and Nina Oisio. Ano begins to sense that this club is a little intense. Everyone there is a try-hard competitive gamer, and they all have insane tragic backstories.
I meant to ask before, but what made the 2 of you take up gaming in the first place? For example, Kase's dad is a mercenary and he trained him in the family business as a kid, so of course he's crazy good at shooters. Meanwhile, Oiso's trying to bring her best friend back from the dark side, which will probably involve defeating her in one-on-one combat.
I lost my memory, and the only link to my past seems to be my skill at block puzzles.
Amno, however, decides to decline the offer to join the gaming club. Tendo tries her very best to convince him to reconsider, but he's more interested in having fun than competing. And the way he shoots her down is very reminiscent of a love rejection, which further confuses their peers.
I feel so rejected right now.
Oh, yeah, but thanks for the invitation. It's cool that you thought of me. Much obliged.
You're nothing to me, Amino, and you suck at games. It's not like I enjoyed spending time with you or anything, so there.
Keep up the good work with the game club, Tendo. I'm rooting for you. I mean that.
Sure, okay.
Episode 2. Tasuku is part of that popular crowd trying to decipher what the fuck just happened. They assume that Amano is a stuck-up loser, which irks Tasuku. At lunchtime, his girlfriend Aguri makes him a questionable lunch and he acts brutally cold towards her, although she doesn't seem to mind. Flashback to her confession, Tasuku said yes, mostly out of shock, but often wonders why they are even dating. They just go from school to the arcade and then back home every single day for half a year. Tasuku is slightly insecure. In the past, he was the ostracized geek that everyone thought was a stuck-up loser, so when high school hit, he changed his personality to fit in with everyone else. So when he sees Amano intimidated by the arcade games, he offers to play some games with him. He learns the tea about Tendo and her gaming club, and he also surprisingly has fun for the first time in a long time. But when they run into the popular crowd, Amano flees the scene with Tasuku hot in pursuit. Amano calls Tasuku's life perfect, which triggers him, so he calls Amano a coward and low-key shades the gaming club, which pisses off Amano, so they fight, but eventually are able to reconcile their differences. Tendo has been low-key stalking Amano ever since he rejected her, so overhearing him defend her club sends her into heaven. Tasuku returns to the arcade to find a very angry Aguri. As he wins her a toy, he asks her why she wanted to date him, and she responds that she fell for him when they were in middle school, so she changed her looks to match his type. Which freaking blows his mind, because, he thought he was a nerdy loser back then, but she liked him? What? So he falls suddenly, very hard, in love with her. Episode 3. Tasuku and Amno strike up an unlikely friendship. Amno plays a mobile game with Mono, as previously mentioned, and his gamer tags are Tsuchi and Yama, derived from his mother's maiden name. Tasuku tries to help Amano level up his social skills by forcing him to talk to Chiaki, a similarly socially awkward gamer. Chiaki and Amno bond over the fact that they both rejected Tendo's invite to the gaming club because it wasn't their style. But strong opinions and stubborn personalities divide them. Tasuku tries to mend their relationship, starting the circle of jealousy and miscommunication. Tasuku compliments Chiaki, and she follows his suggestion on getting a haircut, opening the world's eyes to her natural beauty. Aguri freaks out over Tasuku's bold flattery to Chiaki and runs off. Amno chases after her, which makes Tasuku think that Amno is getting with his girlfriend. And Tendo sees Amno with Chiaki, and then after Aguri, and she thinks that he's getting all the girls. And they just keep digging deeper and deeper holes.
No, 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 no!
Now, I'm not really a fan of the miscommunication trope, but when it's done in a silly, goofy way, it is the best trope. Episode 4. Tendo is the perfect pretty girl. Wait, wrong show. But she has this perfect image until she met Amno, and now she's a freaking mess, to the point where her gaming skills are steadily dropping. So when Tendo runs into Amno over the weekend, she strong-arms him into hanging out at the arcade.
Okay then, you picked the weapon for our battle. Of course, token games rely solely on chance, and that means either of us could win this thing.
Why are you making it sound like I'd lose if it were based on skill?
This is a battle for my life, for my very reawakening as a gamer! I'm going to defeat you and reclaim my lost mojo! Do you feel lucky, punk? Whoever has more tokens in half an hour wins!
Okay.
Amno flubs the challenge, but to Tendo's surprise, he actually really wanted to win. He further explains that having fun and competing are two sides of the same coin, which motivates her to get out of her funk. However, the end credit scene shows Tendo doing the exact opposite. Episode 5. Going back to where we left off in Episode 3, Amno and Aguri are convinced that Tasuku is flirting with Chiaki, but actually he noticed that Chiaki is Amno's online gaming friend, aka Mono and Nobe, derived from her mother's maiden name.
What's up with you?
How can two people be so friggin' star-crossed? Man down!
Tasuku tries to set them up, so he founds the Gamers Meetup Club. But because Tasuku loves to play the devil's advocate, he invites Tendo to join too. Chiaki and Amno assume that Tasuku and Tendo are a secret item. Further chaos envelops when Aguri arrives and drags Amno away.
I did not see that coming. Is that shallow? I mean, how'd Keita end up with such a cute girlfriend?
Huh?
Yeah, look at how we ran out of here. They must really like each other.
Aguri, in reality, is chewing Amno out because he is the worst wingman ever. Amno vows to make Tasuku give up his cheating ways when Chiaki sees them together. Amno tries to clear up the misunderstanding, but this foundation was built on misunderstandings.
What happened out there?
You can rest easy. I told her in no uncertain terms how perfect of a couple you guys are.
Yeah? Like, how'd you say it?
I told her that you're the most thoughtful girlfriend in all the world, and that your beauty and your personality come together to form one perfect package. Yeah! So there! Bam! There's no way she can have any confusion about you and Tasuku's status now.
Wow! Good job, Amino! You knocked it out of the park!
Glad to do it. Though it's kind of weird how she reacted.
Well, good for you.
I guess she just felt like killing the messenger, you know?
Aguri, in return, decides to help Amino date Tendo. Amino has no idea how obsessed Tendo is with him, and tries practicing with dating sims. Tasuku is like, dude, those do not reflect real-world relationships in any way, shape, or form. But he also calls Amino his friend, which makes Amino ecstatic. And makes Chiaki think that they have a secret gay bromance. Tasuku chases after her to clear up that misunderstanding, but Amino thinks he's chasing after her romantically. There is no winning here. Episode 6. Tasuku is able to convince Chiaki that there is no bromance, especially since Chiaki is under the assumption that Aguri and Amino are dating. Since Chiaki has a crush on Tasuku, she asks him how he feels about Tendo, to which he responds that Tendo is the perfect girl.
Perfectly nuts for Amino, that is.
But noticing her down expression, he also hypes her up, which Amino and Aguri naturally overhear, confirming their cheating speculations. Aguri focuses their conversation onto Tendo and Amino's relationship, where she tells Amino to be his natural self and it will all work out. Upon beating his dating sim, and with words of encouragement from Aguri and Tasku, he decides to formally ask Tendo to be his friend after school. Tasku spreads word that a confession will be going down, so the whole school will be watching. Why, you may ask? Because he wants to hide in the crowd and watch Aguri's reaction, to see if she truly has feelings for Amino. Meanwhile, Aguri plans to watch Tasku's reaction to see if he has feelings for Tendo. And Chiaki thinks Aguri is using Amino for his money and their whole relationship is fake, which is why he's going to confess to Tendo.
For better or worse.
Tendo thing in class F.
We'll drag the truth into the light!
But Tendo thinks Ano is singling her out for bothering him too much. Regardless, it's go time. Ano begins to overanalyze the situation based on everyone's weird reactions, but he does it.
Tendo, would you? Ah! Aguri's making a guilty-ass face and she's totally staring at me! Which means she's 100% hooking up with Amino and knows this is all a charade, so she's scoping out my reaction! Son of a bitch! Tendo, would you?
Tasku's staring at me and he's got this crazy guilty look on his face! That means my boyfriend's been a cheating cheater the whole time! And now he's gonna cheat on Tendo with Hoshino Mori! Or the reverse! Or cheat on all of us with all of us! I don't even know anymore!
Tendo, would you?
Uehara and Aguri are staring at each other and their faces are so full of guilt, it's ridiculous! Which means the two of them are an item, which means her and Keita are a sham, which means they're freaking out right now about whatever's about to come out of Keita's mouth!
Tendo, would you?
Remember, Karin, be in the moment. You're fine. There's no need to be on the defensive, right? You're not here to shoot down some random guy who sent you a note. You don't need a reply waiting up your sleeve. Even if he rejects me, I'm going to be an open book. Whatever he says, I'll be honest. I owe that kind of honesty to Amino, and I owe it to myself.
Tendo, would you? As those words left my mouth, I thought of everything that had happened since she first said hello. That fateful day in the game store. Would you like to go out with me?
Huh? I would love to.
He freaking confesses, and she says yes? Surprise happy ending indeed, motherfucker. Episode 7. Everyone is confused.
I wish I could borrow some of your luck. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say to Aguri after all that.
Huh? Can't you just talk like normal?
How are we supposed to do that, huh? The guy Aguri likes is with Tendo now.
Hold on. The guy she likes is with Tendo now?
Don't make me spell it out. See ya.
Amno still thinks Tasku is dating Tendo, and Tasku thinks Aguri is cheating on him with Amno. Weird that they are still friends. Bros truly before hoes, I guess. Chiaki tries to persuade Amino to leave the gold-digging Aguri behind.
Aguri might be nice in most ways, but she was never really your girlfriend, Kay. It's time to face the truth.
Clearly, she can't be my girlfriend if we never went out.
This is awesome! You don't seem like you're pining for what you used to have at all.
I didn't have anything, so why would I be pining for it, Einstein?
Now you're talking. Out with the old and in with the new, right?
Aguri and Amno hang out. He tries to brainstorm on what to do about Tendo, since she couldn't actually be serious about dating him. So he calls Tendo onto the rooftop, and Tendo is like, oh shit, dude's about to dump me. But then he asks her out on a date.
Honestly, a guy like me could never hold a candle to Uehara. He's ranked, and I'm still working through the tutorial.
So what if I suck? As a gamer, I think it's wrong to quit out of a match. If you're gonna play, you play to win!
Damn, gamers never quit, huh? So they go to an entertainment center and play a bunch of sporty games. They also go to the pool, and you know Amno is dying at the sight of Tendo in a swimsuit. Chiaki is there and getting hit on by a bunch of dudes, so she uses Amno as a man shield to stop the onslaught. Tendo is peak jealousy, but she agrees to help Chiaki locate her younger sister, which is why she was there to begin with. Unfortunately, Lil Sis went home, so Chiaki ends up third-wheeling. They compete in some arcade games, and Amno loses miserably, but because of his goofy attitude, everyone has a blast. Episode 8. Jack of all trades Konoha is student council president, but also secretly into raunchy manga and games. Amno and Aichi show up, and Amno recommends a game that is near and dear to Konoha, so she slightly respects him for it, despite his wishy-washy personality and bland looks. Her words, not mine. Oh, also she's Chiaki's younger sister. I guess that means they go to different high schools? Chiaki's mom won a board game called The Love Love Game of Half-Life, so the gang heads to her house to play, and all tensions are skyrocketing. Aguri and Amno get paired together as a lovey-dovey couple. Tasku keeps cheating on his partner Chiaki, and Tendo stays single forever. But during a break, Tasku and Aguri bridge the gap when Aguri says she thinks of Amno as a little brother, and Tasku says he could care less about Tendo. Amno reveals he plays games with an online friend, Mono, and Chiaki is in shock.
Hoshinomori's heart just stumbled into a checkpoint unprepared, and now she's eyeballing a fight she can't hope to win. That of the too late soulmate.
Episode 9, a little flashback into Chiaki's early days as a game developer. She loved the creativity of programming, but negative comments are always somewhat discouraging. But there was this one user who always cheered her on, and it's fucking Amno. Chiaki goes to the store where she runs into Amno. He left his transit pass at her house, so they head back together. And Chiaki hides his pass to make him stay longer. But through an incredulous series of mishaps, Chiaki reveals that she is gamer Mono and developer Nobe. Just kidding! She pins it all on her sister Konoha. Amno isn't really convinced, and Tasku is just inwardly facepalming.
I want to drop some knowledge so bad. It's not my place to go nuts with the truth bombs. Hoshinomori made her own dumbass decision, and I gotta respect it. Seriously, though, something's gotta give. Even if things work out great for you and Tendo, I can't be happy about it.
Huh?
Just kidding, because he said that thought out loud. So Amno is like, oh, he really does have a thing going on with Tendo. And then he runs into Konoha, who's buying her raunchy gamer shit. She forces him to secrecy. She also punches him in the face. He walks Konoha to where she was meeting up with Chiaki and bids him a bashful goodbye, as Chiaki has a bizarre phone call with Tasku.
What'd he say?
I think that he said, I'm choosing you, so just deal with it, alright?
Just a really, really bad way to say that you're supporting their romantic pursuits. Episode 10. The trio is perplexed by Tasku's love confession, and they brainstorm ways to turn him down. Amno decides to invite Aguri to the next gamer meetup, where they'll confront the situation head-on. The day the meetup arrives, and our boy falls under the pressure and ends up yammering about the release of a new game that's hitting the stores tomorrow. Chiaki recaps the event to Konoha, and Konoha is like, girl, you need to figure out how you feel about him. Next day, Tasku approaches Chiaki to show his support, where she continues to misinterpret his actions as romantic. Tendo appears, asking for advice about Amno, which is all fine and dandy, until Aguri spots Tasku with both girls and thinks he's cheating.
Save me, Amno! Save me!
They clear up the misunderstanding, but are surprised to see Amno ditch his new game for Aguri. Episode 11. So yeah, everyone thinks that Aguri and Amno's relationship seems a little more than platonic. Tasku schemes with Tendo to set up a double date, so that Aguri will see what a good match Amno and Tendo are, and Amno will see what a good match Aguri and Tasku are. The double date takes place at an amusement park. Aguri and Amno are suspicious that the double date is actually a cover-up for Tendo's and Tasku's relationship. Then they run into Konoha and Chiaki. Earlier, Konoha overheard the whole double date scheme, and being team her sister, she decides to interfere. Chiaki has no idea. Montage time, and no one seems to be really having a good time. The group enters a haunted house, but they get separated when Konoha forces Amno and Chiaki to leave early, under the pretense of them looking sick. Which ends up being actually a good decision, because Chiaki faints. While waiting for Chiaki to recover, Amno is asked whom he likes better, Mono/Nobe or Tendo. Amno replies that he cherishes all of his friends equally, Chiaki included. The three eventually rejoin the group and watch the parade together. The end. Except, not really. There's technically 12 episodes in the series, but episode 12 is barely an episode. It opens with something that is interesting. Aichi's backstory. He woke up nude in front of a puzzle game with no memories of his past. He wanders the streets and saves a girl from getting kidnapped. He gets adopted into their family, where he continues to fight against the Mafia to protect his new sister. But also maybe because the Mafia experimented on him? We'll never fully know. This is like 5 minutes of the episode. It then refocuses on our main characters, who are going on a gamer training retreat. But non-gamer Aguri doesn't really get the hype, so the group tries to explain to her why they love video games.
Looks like new games are pretty much 6,000 across the board. Wait, says this one goes for
$1,000. Are you kidding me? I guess it's got a book of concept art and a download code for Launch Day DLC. Hey guys, what's DLC stand for, huh?
It's downloadable content abbreviated. Launch Day DLC could be costumes for your characters to wear in the game. That is a popular one.
It feels more like the show is trying to explain why gaming is cool, but like, who is this for? I feel like most weebs are also gamers, and the ones who aren't, I don't think they'll find this particularly engaging. So yeah, that's Gamers. If you're looking for something serious or meaningful, this show isn't for you. It's a little on the cliche side. Your average Joe Schmo gets all the hot girls, and yes, there unfortunately is a little bit of fan service. But the focus is more on the comedy of misunderstandings and assumptions getting wildly out of control. It's giving soap opera, but it's downright funny and chaotic. One thing that bothers me with a lot of rom-coms is the lack of well-developed side characters. Often they get thrown into the back seat, used only for a pivotal scene, and then left to rot. Gamers has 5 well-rounded characters. Amno is only an average Joe Schmo in looks. Personality-wise, he's a golden retriever.
Okay, time to grind this newbie into dust.
Okay, go easy on me.
Bubbly and optimistic, despite a serious set of insecurities stemming from social anxiety. He wears his heart on his sleeve, being honest and open about how he feels. He's loyal to his friends and his frenemies, and is thoughtful and kind to everyone equally. Amno may be a bit oblivious and unaware of certain social cues, but if anything, that adds to the comedy of mishaps. Tendo has this perfectly crafted dream girl image that she tries to faithfully uphold until she meets Amno, where she learns to take life a little less seriously. She's ambitious and driven. Whether it's gaming or Amno, she gives everything her all. Tasku acts all smart and cool, but deep down he's just as insecure as the rest of us. He often plays devil's advocate with Amno's love life, but ends up falling prey to his own traps. He is the reason that most of the misunderstandings occur in the first place. Aguri seems sweet and cute on the outside, but deep down she's sassy and spirited. The unlikely friendship that forms between Amno and herself is one of my favorite parts of the show. And Chiaki is basically the girl version of Amno, but at the same time, she's not at all like him. She starts off as a quiet, shy loner, but quickly turns into this brazenly stubborn girl.
So, I just want to make sure. It's not, I hate the guy, but I'm secretly in love with him.
Not even a little. I'd rather bite off my own tongue than have to talk to that loser about anything.
And her interactions with Konoha actually portray a realistic sisterly relationship instead of the, weird stuff anime likes to do sometimes. In my last review of Say I Love You, I said that with 12 episodes you can't expect every character to be well developed and fleshed out. But Gamers does it in 11. Admittedly, a lot less time is spent on romance between the characters, but they still have a lot of cute scenes that make a young girl or Cabbages heart pound. I know the plot isn't for everyone. A lot of people found the drama shallow and just a bunch of high school bullshit, but to me it seems satirical, riffing off of romance dramas that actually use miscommunication as a plot device. Especially with the plot twist in the beginning, you think the story is going to be about the gaming club and the members' incredibly complex and eccentric backstories. But then Amno just fucking nopes out of there, and the story goes in a whole different direction.
And if you're still interested in coming aboard, just say the word.
I am. I had so much fun this afternoon. I would be honored to join the club.
Why, thank you. What do you say, Amino? Will you be in the game club with me? I'd love to have you.
Tendo. Misumi.
You're gonna need help. But stick with us and I'll have you up to snuff in no time, kid.
Thanks, you guys. They'd be my friends. The first ones I've ever made here. Yeah, they've got their quirks. But really, don't we all? And then, there's Tendo's smile. Games and friendship in one place? I feel like I should pinch myself. This is one of those chances you wait your whole life for. Nah, I think I'm gonna pass. It doesn't look like this club plays the sort of games I'm into.
Huh?
I love the colorful art style. The opening theme is amazing. They showcase a bunch of different gaming styles using the main characters. Fantastic. Honestly, there needs to be more hype for the show. If I were tier ranking it, I'd give it a solid A for amazing. Anyways, that's my review of Gamers. Happy Valentine's Day to all my hopeless romantics out there, and I'll see y'all in the next one.